After what felt like a very long game of chess between Microsoft, Xbox, and Sony PlayStation, waiting to see what Microsoft does next or what PlayStation does next, PlayStation finally did the next move. And they not only unveiled the PlayStation 5 console, not the controller this time, but the complete system, and they gave us a lot of additional goodies like this. That was the new PlayStation 5 boot up menu. They gave us that and so much more. So here are 5 things that I gathered from that debut. Let's just go ahead and quickly address the elephant in the room. I've seen the memes, I read the comments, and yes, I do agree it can look a tad weird to some. I can tell you now, when I first saw this thing live, I said to myself, this thing looks like an Alienware desktop or some kind of Asus router. But there's a reason for this design, because no other gaming console trailer ever put this many close-ups to the air vents. I never recall Nintendo doing this with the Nintendo GameCube or on their latest hit, the Nintendo Switch. And then the Xbox Series X, yeah, cool, you have a cool green LED light on the very top. Meanwhile, PlayStation's over here is like, check out my LEDs, but not just that. Look at these vents, fully functional, unlike some automotive manufacturers. But this indicates a couple interesting things about the PlayStation 5. With all these openings, this could hint A, this console is going to be super quiet, as you're rarely going to hear the fan speed up when playing those high demand games. Or B, could this thing be water cooled? I mean, I don't think B is possible because that design is so slim, it's really hard to fit a cooling reservoir. But upon further research, I did found this very interesting image that somebody created on Reddit. They compared the size between the standard USB ports and also the optical drive, compared it against the Series X Xbox. The PlayStation 5 is massive. That said, there still is that possibility it might have some kind of liquid cooling because it's very big. Just look at that. It's bigger than the Xbox Series X, and I thought that was going to be massive. In fact, it's reported to be larger than the PlayStation 3, that very first gen. Yeah. And then another interesting thing about the design, notice how it resembles a V, almost like a Roman numeral for 5. Genius, to say the most. But besides that, yes, the RGB LED strip you see on the edge looks like it is real, because nowadays RGB lights like this are cheaper than ever before. So no need to mod our consoles. And yes, it was advertised to be flat down, vertical on the floor if you need to. Now, as for the front, the available ports that we saw was a USB-A port and a USB-C port. Then underneath there, we get 2 additional buttons. It's unclear if these are physical buttons or the PlayStation touch sensitive button, but whatever these buttons do, it's very clear that one has to be the on and off button, and then the one underneath could be the eject button. And as for the digital edition, it looks like it just has the power button, that's it. But seeing that PlayStation is releasing a digital version of the PlayStation 5, it's very likely that Microsoft, the Series X, might also do the same thing, as rumors have been suggesting that Xbox will be releasing a more affordable option of the Series X as well. But price between the PlayStation 5 with the optical drive and the digital edition is still left unclear, but many sources like articles from The Verge, analysts, they've been reporting a very similar thing. The price differences between the standard PlayStation 5 and the digital edition could just be $50 apart if you take into consideration how much optical drives cost nowadays. That said, another interesting thing about the PlayStation 5 is how they keep pushing 3D audio. Now, 3D audio isn't anything new. In fact, there's a couple of videos on YouTube that have 3D audio, and if the same science is involved for developers to make their game sound effects sound more realistic, this is going to be a huge game changer. If you haven't experienced 3D audio yet, I highly recommend to check out the Verge video they made on it. They explain the science and the reason why it's better and more advanced compared to the standard 5.1 audio you find on soundbars and such. And then lastly, it looks like the PlayStation 5 is going to be the only console that's coming out with a lot of first-party accessories. There's a unique looking media controller, a dual charging station for your controllers, an HD camera, and the most interesting accessory of them all is the new Pulse 3D headset, which it's reported that these headphones are gonna have dual microphone noise cancellation for the mic, of course. But it's very likely that they're gonna have some kind of tech that will amplify that 3D audio thing that PlayStation keeps talking about. But there is an interesting thing if you take a second and just look at these accessories. If you look closely, this mirror doesn't resemble the PlayStation VR headset. Now, it's not confirmed by anybody, nor have I seen anybody else mention this, so because of that, I cannot leave this out of the video. I have to at least talk about it. Since the new HD camera is also using a dual camera setup, it easily meets the requirement to support the current PlayStation VR. So it's possible, if my theory is correct, at launch, the PlayStation 5 might be fully compatible with the current PlayStation VR headset. In the meantime, until the next generation PSVR headset is ready and unveiled. But there we have it. Those were the 5 interesting things that I found about the PlayStation 5 during its unveiling. We still have a lot of questions left unanswered, like what does the I/O ports in the back look like? And then will we see a different color version of the PlayStation 5 anytime soon, so that we can match it with our current gaming consoles of that matte black finish? But most importantly, what is the cost? Well, I guess we just have to wait until Microsoft does the next move. But regardless on what happens, I'm really looking forward to finding out more in the near future. So please comment down below. What are your thoughts about the PlayStation 5? What are your theories? It could be about anything. If you also agree about the PlayStation VR, let me know if you found something interesting that might support this. Anyway, folks, thank you so much for watching. Take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See ya.